Our human instinct of directional awareness has been lost in the modern age. We might even be the only ones in the animal kingdom to have disposed of that ability. If we were lost in the wilderness with smartphone in hand, sure, we can use its GPS integrated technology to find our way out. But for how long? The battery life, even in today's technology, cannot circumvent the realities of being lost in the wilderness for even a single day. That's some scary shit. Have no fear though. Just grab your watch and let's turn it into a compass, shall we? Since I live in California, we'll be discussing how to locate north and south up in the northern hemisphere, and afterwards I'll explain the southern hemisphere method, which is just a minor tweak of the process. The first step is to simply locate the sun. I'll be using my pocket flashlight to cast a shadow and give context as to where the sun is by using the ground as a level surface area. Next, we simply point the hour hand towards the sun with the watch dial facing up. Using an upright object to cast a shadow is not only safer on the eyes than directly staring at the sun, but it's especially helpful during overcast days because although the sun may be hidden behind clouds, light rays still pass through from its direction, which still enables objects to cast shadows. The next thing we're going to want to do is find the bisecting line that passes directly through the middle of the hour hand and 12 o'clock. Think of that triangular shaped area as just that, an arrowhead. The pointed tip is north and the tail side is south. Now, to get an idea of the accuracy when finding north and south using your analog watch, here's an overhead view of both my watch and an actual compass pointing north. Keep in mind that although this knowledge will come in handy when you're lost, using your watch as a compass only gives you a general sense of where north and south are. An actual compass is recommended when trying to locate specific coordinates and locations. Next, let's talk about the simple adjustment of orientation required to find north and south from the southern hemisphere. To begin, we already know what step 1 is, and that's to locate the sun, of course. In step 2, instead of the hour hand pointing towards the sun, we'll use 12 o'clock to point at it instead. And the next point of reference, of course, is the hour hand. And just like what we did earlier, we're going to bisect between those intersecting lines to find our north and south axis. Now the difference is, since we're in the southern hemisphere in this example, the arrowhead shape I explained earlier will be pointing us south. And once again, if you're in the northern hemisphere, that arrowhead shape points us north. Many dive watches, pilot's watches, and field watches have a rotating bezel, which is a good way to mark the bisecting line that passes through the hour hand and 12 o'clock, and to keep it updated as time moves forward. What you can do is count the number of clicks between both points of reference and then divide that in half to find the exact center point if you choose to be as precise as possible when using the bezel. I wrote an article on Regimen.com called 3 Reasons Why Regular Analog Watches Are Better Than the Smartwatch, and my intention was to actually add this very video that you're watching right now into that blog post. And what's cool about this tutorial is that not only is it aimed to be somewhat educational or helpful, but it's also great for conversation, because when you're out and about with your friends or you actually engage with somebody out in the world, I think that they would appreciate little tidbits of information such as this. Anyone wants to know about how to make your watch into a compass when need be. It's a great piece of information. Feel free to check out modernregimen.com, where I have a slight head start on content about men's lifestyle in the modern world, along with the mindsets that have helped me push through as a creative in the modern age. And hit me up and follow me on Instagram, modern.regimen, where I'll be sharing a lot of the in-house processes and the day in the life of a freelance graphic designer. With that said, I'm your friend Chris Flores. Thanks again for joining me here on Modern Regimen. And remember to always follow your regimen.